Well, hello everyone. Hope everyone has a good day today. Well, this is kind of one of my follow-up videos to one I did maybe a couple of weeks ago pertaining to the U.S. District Courts and the Trump administration. Particularly, there's a couple at the D.C. level in Washington, D.C., particularly one in particular, that is putting all these stops or temporary holds on decisions that the Trump administration is making. What they're doing is going out of their bounds of jurisdiction because they think they can do anything they want because they have lifetime appointments. And that everyone's supposed to get down and kiss their ass. Well, I think pretty soon here, Trump's administration is going to give it to them. He's going to give it to them in their ass real hard, especially as this one judge. I think right now, like I said in the previous video, the Trump administration is just, giving the Supreme Court a chance to step in and control these rogue district judges, And I think, they're going to get to a point here pretty soon. They're going to allude to, there are back channels all the time, folks. You can't say there are not back channels between the administration and, say, the federal court system, in this case, the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court would come out and say, that never happens. We are distinct entities. We don't talk to each other behind, in special little communiques, Folks, that's bullshit. They do, but they're not going to tell you that, okay? So I have a feeling the Trump administration has sent to the Supreme Court a little note saying, your time's running short on getting these district courts under control. If you don't do it, or you can't, or you wish you don't want to, then we're going to take action ourselves. And that is, we're just going to ignore indecision. Any federal court comes down against us. And that would include appeals courts and even the Supreme Court. And people are going to say, you can't do that. That'd be a constitutional crisis. Well, then Supreme Court, get your head out of your ass, get your act together, and get these district courts under control, because I think, I have a feeling, no one knows for sure except for Trump and his close associates around him, are going to come to a point and say, enough's enough. You've had your chance. Now, any decision you come down with, we're going to ignore. You can't enforce your policy or your decision. We know you can't. You know you can't. But we're giving you a chance to save face. Do it right. Stop interfering with the administration. Otherwise we're going to, when we start, we're not going to stop. It's going to be full steam ahead, and you can make all decisions you want. That's fine. That's great. And we'll ignore them. And I have a feeling from some of the news I'm hearing, they are saying that already in some cases. I know one or two federal judges, and I think they're all coming out of mostly the district courts there in Washington, D.C., which are almost all libs, But that, they were supposed to bring all these people back who, have been fired, let go by DOJ and the other groups, Some may have been brought back, but I understand they're coming back to empty buildings, locked doors, and really have no access. And they may not be getting their paychecks back. So restarted. So anyway, we'll see. Does the federal court system get its act together, or does the administration have to come in and just lay it all down? And folks, the screaming and hollering from the libs will be deafening, But then the Republicans or the MAGA group can always turn around and say, you had your chance to fix it. You couldn't fix it, or were only willing to fix it yourself. So we're fixing it. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think it's going to go much longer. In my first video, I said there's probably a couple of weeks, couple of months at the most. Not a year. That's not going to happen, folks. Not going to happen. I think we're getting close to, they've had a couple of weeks now, so I think we're probably, if it's going to happen, if the administration is going to tell them eventually, fuck you, you had your chance, you didn't take it, now it's our turn, and once we get started, there's no turning back. So we'll see what happens. Like, share, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and have a good one.